Hey friends, welcome once again to the world as we see it. I'm Baba Shaka, and first of all, I want to thank all of you who have been with us this far, and for those of you who are watching for the first time, please give us your support by hitting that subscribe button and giving us a like. Give us a thumbs up, all right? But today, we want to talk about what's been going on in the Sahel States Alliance. Have you ever heard that term? That's a term that has come up recently where three countries, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, and we all know that these countries have broken away from French domination, long-term French domination, and they have gotten rid of their Western puppets who were running these three countries on behalf of the West, France in particular. And by doing so, they came on these three countries, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, came on the attack, so to speak. Not military attack, but attack nevertheless by other ECOWAS states. These three countries did belong to ECOWAS, the economic community of West Africa. There's 16 states that belong to this organization. These three countries, along with Guinea, when they kicked out the Western puppets, came on attack. Niger, being the latest of the four, was actually threatened with a military invasion by ECOWAS. Imagine your brothers in your organization decides to free themselves from Western imperialism, colonialism, and domination. And your response is to threaten them with military action, to cut off the electricity, because most of the electricity that is sent to Niger is actually supplied by Nigeria. And the president of Nigeria, Tinubu, is currently the chair of ECOWAS. The chairmanship rotates around. He's currently the chair of ECOWAS. They decided to cut off electricity to Niger. Some of the other countries also closed their borders. Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, and others, they closed their borders to punish these countries for taking the stance that they did. Well, these three young men decided, guess what? We are going to form an alliance. Because when Niger was threatened with military invasion by ECOWAS, Burkina Faso and Mali came to his defense that any attack on Niger is an attack on them also. They have found a partnership, so to speak. They call themselves the Sahel States Alliance, and they have agreements to trade with each other, to protect each other from outside interference and outside attacks. I personally refer to them as the three amigos. But here is the ironic thing about this. These three countries, rightly so from my point of view, remember, this is the world as we see it. Hopefully it's the world as you see it too, but that's not a requirement. But we see this as the right thing to do. They have decided to leave
on the national
ECOWAS.
televisions of Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali.
And
The
members
three
of
countries
ECOWAS
are
are acting as
withdrawing
though
from the West
they're
African
surprised.
regional bloc known as
Imagine
ECOWAS,
you
which includes all 16
threaten
West African
your brother
nations.
with
The organization
military
imposed
invasion.
sanctions against the three
You
nations after their military
sanction your
power
brother
in a coup in
economically.
recent years.
You cut off trade.
ECOWAS
You
is
cut
calling
off
for a return to civilian
electricity.
The joint decision to
That
leave
is
the
not
union is an act of defiance
going
by
to
the
just
military
punish
exercise in
the
face of
military
sanctions that
leaders,
limit border
but it's going to
movements
punish
and the ability to
all
trade,
of the
hurting
people
the
of
country's already
Niger.
vulnerable economies.
And now you're surprised that they want to leave you? They want to leave this organization that seems to have become a club for old, basically decrepit African leaders who just hang out and support each other as they steal money and line their own pockets and play jiggery-pokery with their respective constitutions. Example, a couple years ago in Cote d'Ivoire, the leader of Cote d'Ivoire and his party did some jiggery-poogery with the Constitution in order to give himself a longer time in office. Okay, that is called a political coup. But apparently ECOWAS is not concerned with political coups. Right now we have a situation going on in Senegal, where Macky Sall, the current president of Senegal, is trying to do the same thing as his friend in Cote d'Ivoire did. He's trying to manipulate the Constitution so that he can stay in power. And when that didn't work, now he decided that he's going to ban some of his opponents in the upcoming election and then postpone the election indefinitely because of one reason or another. And the people are not going for it. They see the trick that Macky Sall is trying to do. They've seen this trick before in other West African countries, members of ECOWAS. So they're not going for it. But now ECOWAS is saying, wait a minute, why is Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali leaving? Or if they leave, they're going to break up the body. Well, the body was already broken. Why should they stay? Why should they stay and be punished by the body, in this case ECOWAS, on behalf of France and other Western countries? And this is what I can't understand. These leaders are supposed to be so smart. Many of them have got degrees from Western universities, yet they're acting in such a stupid manner. It is beyond the pale. It is beyond imagination. Right? So I, for one, applaud the Sahel States Alliance. I applaud Burkina Faso. I applaud Mali. I applaud Niger. I'm not sure why Guinea has not joined the other three. That's interesting, that Guinea has not joined the other three in liberating itself totally, not just from Western domination, but also totally, not just from Western domination, but also from ECOWAS manipulation. But we'll keep an eye on that situation, see where that's going, right? Maybe Guinea, the leader of Guinea, has a different approach and want to take a different path. I don't know. But I suspect that there's something going on. As we say in certain corners of the activist world, you can't sleep white and fight black. Maybe you've heard that term before. Maybe this is the first time you heard it. But consider it. You can't sleep white and fight black. All right? So, until any further notice, we will be back. We thank you for joining us once again in the world as we see it. Please leave a comment. Whether you agree with our point of view or you disagree with our point of view, it's okay. This is just the world as we see it. Maybe you see the world differently, and that's fine. We'd like to hear from you too. So until next time, Kwaheri, and Assalamu alaikum.